Hey, welcome back to another video. This is part of a series where I'm basically creating a visual diary of my photography journey during this year. And hopefully by you watching these, you could find some nuggets of inspiration sprinkled across these videos. Like I said in the past, I'm just throwing some videos together and seeing what my progress looks like during this year. By the end of the year, I'll have a good feedback of where I'm at and where I'm going, and I think these are cool memories for me to look at later on. So if you're new here, my name is Julian Guevara. I'm a portrait and wedding photographer based here in Southern California. Here is some of my work if you're interested. So within this video, we're gonna go ahead and combine the month of February and March. So to be completely honest, January was slow with paid work, and so was this month as well. So I had to stay busy, I had to stay creative to keep everything going, you know? I was invited to the Southern California event and Wedding Pros, the Santa Clarita chapter, to go to this mixer. Part of this year, if I'm invited to a mixer or invited to an event, I'm going to try to make it there. Yeah, I'm not gonna say no because I'm being shy or I'm feeling kind of self-conscious about anything. So I'm planning on just showing up to any event that I'm invited to if I'm available. So yeah, I showed up to this mixer not knowing exactly what was gonna go down. It's at a brand new wedding venue called Grace Hill Ranch. I show up, this was a full-blown like upscale experience. We're over here having this most expensive sparkling wine. I've never tasted sparkling wine. I'm not a big wine drinker, but this day changed my mind. They gave us like a whole pallet. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4. There was like 6 glasses in front of us full. They each got better as we kept on drinking, and we all got loose as we kept on drinking. So it made for a pretty chill night. The way the whole setup was, it was like so upscale. Like they had like these tables in a U form. What's funny is I met half these people already just working in the industry. I'm just now getting invited to this stuff. So I've been doing wedding photography since 2017. But yeah, we had some wine and it was all decorated, all nice. They had a printout of everything that we were drinking, and they had disco balls in the center pieces. It was a cool laid back experience. So after the whole presentation, I was hanging out with Liquid Courage at the bar, and I met another bartender there. And he hooked me up with the most delicious mezcal that I've ever had in my life. But this dude put me on to something new. Like, I'm forever changed and I'll be drinking mezcal any chance I get now. But yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a cool experience. All right, so like I mentioned before, I had so much free time and I decided to go ahead and just clean up the studio. I've neglected this space for a couple months now. I wanted to get into more like editorial studio portraiture using backdrops that I have here. The only issue is my studio is pretty limited on space, so I've had to move things around, make things work. And yeah, this place was kind of like a storage unit for a while, but I'm trying to get back into it, use it more, and just have fun and see where this year goes. All right, so I'm thinking about getting rid of like this table shelf area right here, because I'm thinking I have a shelf there. I could put this desk right here and then have another shelf there. This one right here behind me. So that way it just frees up this whole space, and I'm able to put light stands here and then, or put the couch there or however. And if I do want to spin some records, I have this pop-up table right here that'll just be perfect. This is the photo backdrop area. I shoved everything as out of the way as much as possible just so I could put light stands here. I could stand like right here, and that's what you'll see. Here's the setup with it not all dirty. This corner, workstation. Behind me is the gear station. All right, behind me you have the record station. There's nothing there right now because I have all the records at home, but I might take this, get this out of here because it is kind of taking too much space. Have the backdrops right behind me. There's no light coming right here, but look what happens when I step into the light. I am in the light now, the backdrop comes down. I can put a filler right here. I have enough room in this little space, so stoked for it. So I'm basically just cleaning up this whole space just so I could have room to test out some studio lighting, get into some more studio portraiture, and seeing where all this goes. I just had this urge to just kind of like dive deeper into like learning about lighting, shaping lighting, and just trying to expand my knowledge on what I can do. So yeah, the studio space is pretty much clean. There's still a lot of stuff that I need to get out of here, but it'll happen in time. I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm just trying to just relax and enjoy the whole process and not try to stress things too much. And another thing that happened was I was invited to another mixer. This one is just a small one based out here in my local area. We kind of just like hung out for a morning and had some coffee. That was really cool to see that there was a community that really wants to help each other out, and like I said, live that dream. So after I cleaned my studio, we set some time aside to come back in. I wanted to test out this old Norman that I found in my storage area. I have not used this in years. When I first started, I worked for this sports photography company where we basically shot like portraits of the teams and the players, sort of like school photos, and I needed to collect my own gear so that way I could get more work. So I bought this old Norman for like $100. It still runs good, it's solid, it's a 400 watt light. It's bright, like it does everything you need it to do. It'll overpower the sun if needed. It's cool to have it, it's an old machine, it works, and it still runs. I'll probably incorporate that in a shoot in the future. We brought it back out and we wanted to use it here in the studio. We just took some random photos and these are the test results. Now I can tell that they're a little on the warm side. The lighting is not as consistent with exposure and the tone of the light. So I wasn't too happy with that, so I decided to order another light, and it's this one right here behind me, one of my favorite lights right now. So I decided to get this wireless light, and so with everything being so slow this month, I decided to go ahead and just schedule anyone into my studio. So I reached out to a couple of people, and my buddy David was able to come in. It is sort of a test shoot, but it's also something that I feel confident that I'm gonna throw into my portfolio. So I think I had my lighting situation dialed. On my way to my studio right now to do the very first like official studio setup. I'm doing these new series of portraits to change up my portfolio a little bit and just experiment with something new. So the primary objective for the shoot is to have fun and just try something different. Kind of have a direction of where I want to go with it, but I'm open to discover new ways of creating. I think it's good for us to try different mediums and try different ways of shooting, just to get out of that box of what we're normally used to. Hopefully they're good, I don't know, but if it is good, hell yeah. If it's not good, oh wow. I'm having fun and I'm sharing it. So I'm about to get rid of all that mess right here and put up a new light. This new light I'm excited for. Yeah, we just kind of kept it pretty laid back, chill, not really taking anything too seriously. I pretty much kept the lighting the same. I didn't experiment too much with that. I feel like I want to kind of work slow and get the fundamentals down a little bit. So the lighting that you're seeing here mimics natural window light. Sort of what I'm doing here with this window light, I wanted it to create that with strobe, just so I could figure out how to shape my own lighting situations and all that. I feel like this is like one of my favorite lighting setups to use at the moment. So I'm stoked to see where this goes and how I incorporate other stuff to this. So basically we're trying to keep this thing super laid back and editorial in a way, so that way, you never know. This type of work could be needed sometime in the future, or if I'm at a wedding, this could be something that I could just throw out on a whim. It's just always good to keep learning and keep everything fresh. 1, 2, 3.
Are you zooming with this, right?
Yeah.
I got myself in my own recording.
Hey. Okay. All right, that was a wrap for today's shoot. It did its job. It shows full battery still, but it started dying on me. Not sure why. New umbrella too, really big. I liked it. It's freaking solid. I think for the next one, I'm probably gonna change the color of this though. This was good, but we're gonna change the color now. And after the session was over, I had a lot of spare time, and I decided to create some self-portraits with this. I was using a fisheye lens, and I thought it was pretty unique and unusual for a wedding photographer to use. I just wanted to showcase that I'm not like a traditional wedding photographer. I don't know, I think I'm different. I don't know, but maybe. So I'm gonna put you on top of my camera. I shot my first wedding of 2024. So the wedding took place at the Charleston Fullerton. That whole day was all indoors, and then the natural lighting that was coming in wasn't really coming in shining through the space because everything was sort of like in the end of the day. When the ceremony started, it was pretty much sunset, so I was only getting the tungsten lighting that was available. Luckily, I was smart enough to bring this and at least just have one in my pocket. The speed light came through, it just wasn't enough power for the wide shots. But this thing, I just left it in the back, pointed it up, and then just shot, like, you know, bounced it on the ceiling. Yeah, it was my first time using something like that during the ceremony. And it felt so weird because, like, I didn't want to give anyone, like, a seizure or anything. So I was, like, kind of being sparing with the big one. The other one, I just used direct flash, pointed at the couple, and then there we go. This thing kept on going. I had it, like, on the lowest setting, too, so. And then afterwards, we went to this like private bar, and then we did all the family photos there. And I did the exact same thing. I just pointed it up towards the ceiling to make a giant softbox, and then it just filled up like the whole space with nice, even lighting. And you can see here that like, everyone was just perfectly lit. that was it for the month of February and March. There is something else that happened in March that I would want to get into, but thinking I'm going to save that one for the next one. Thank you so much for following along on this little journey, and we'll see you in the next one. Much love.